Sergeant comes down. The sergeant will tell you what you do not know what I'm doing. No, I don't.
It's a police station and it's a security risk.
Would you like to see some documentation? What law am I breaking, sir? Could I get your collar number and your name?
Welcome back to Police Pulse UK. If you're new here, hit subscribe and join the family. Drop a like, leave a comment, and let's get straight into it. Today's video was shared by Matt12128. You can find their link below, so go check it out and support them. In this video, a photographer is filming near a local police station. He is standing on a public path and is not breaking any law. However, someone inside the station gets very upset about it. A female officer comes outside and immediately starts causing trouble. She demands his personal details and claims he needs special permission just to stand in a public place. The photographer asks her a simple question: am I legally required to show my ID? The officer goes quiet. She does not answer because she has no good answer. Then her sergeant shows up. Within just a few seconds, the whole situation changes. The sergeant puts a stop to it and teaches the officer what the law actually says. Let's watch what happens.
Flying a kite. Flying a kite.
Right, what are you doing? Why are you
taking pictures just of the marked vehicles.
Why?
It's just like a thing I've got, photography and that. It's like what I do.
Have you got permission? Police station.
Permission?
Yeah.
I don't need permission.
You need permission to take pictures of police station. Yes, you do.
I don't.
You do, I'm telling you, you do.
I don't.
What's the reason you're taking the
registration
plates down?
I'm not taking registration plates down. I'm just doing a documentary for like YouTube and stuff.
Okay. What's your name, fella?
I don't give out my details, mate.
Well, then you don't take pictures of police station.
I do. I'm allowed to. It's perfectly lawful.
No, it's not.
What law's it against?
Because we need to know why you're taking pictures of police
What
station.
offence is it?
Risk.
What offence is it though?
It's a security
You said
risk.
I'm not allowed. What offence is it?
Listen to what I'm saying.
All right.
It's a security risk.
But that's not
You're
against the
outside
law.
a police station taking pictures. We need to verify you and know who you are.
I'm just taking.
Before the officer even speaks, she has already made up her mind that the photographer is a problem. She does not ask any questions or try to understand the situation. She just says, "I need to verify you," in a rude and bossy way. But verify what exactly? The man is simply standing on a public street. This is just a power move. She is trying to control someone for no real reason. It is bad policing from the very beginning. Going back to 2010, the Home Office gave clear instructions to all police forces in England and Wales. Officers are not allowed to demand someone's ID just because that person is holding a camera. That rule has never changed and is still in place today. So there are only two possible explanations for what this officer did. Either she does not know the basic rules of her own job, or she knows them and simply does not care. Neither option is acceptable, and both make her look bad.
Some pictures. You don't need to verify me at all.
What I'm saying, and we're not being quite clear.
Excuse me, do you know the law?
Obviously, I know the law.
Obviously, you don't the way you're carrying on. You seriously saying that I have to give me details, I have to tell you what I'm doing. No, I don't.
It's a police station and it's a security risk.
Would you like to see some documentation saying that I do not have to give my details? I don't have to give it. Excuse me, could you honour your oath and tell the truth? Do I have to give my identification? I'll tell you if you answer that question. I'm not trying to be awkward, I'm trying to do things right.
Trying to be awkward.
You were trying to be awkward. Right, do I have to give my details?
What right thing are you doing?
Pardon?
What right thing are you doing?
I'm doing some pictures and footage for a documentary I'm doing on YouTube. A documentary on the police.
So
Obviously.
Why do you need the registrations to mark vehicles?
Who said I was getting registrations? I was taking pictures. Yeah, I'm not getting registrations, am I?
You'll be able to see them in there. So
You'd be able to see them on dash cams. You'd be able to see them on Google Maps.
Right, but I'm asking
So what you on about?
Stand outside the police station taking pictures.
Because if I want footage for a police documentary, I don't need permission.
Notice what the officer does not do. She never mentions any law to support what she is doing. She does not quote a single legal rule. Instead, she just gets defensive and argumentative. This is a big clue. When an officer is legally in the right, they will clearly tell you exactly which law they are using. When they start acting the way she did, it usually means they know they are wrong but will not admit it. Now, a little history. There used to be a law called Section 44 of the Terrorism Act. It was a very problematic law because it allowed police to stop photographers without any real reason or suspicion. But in 2010, the European Court of Human Rights struck it down. The case was called Gillen and Quinton versus the United Kingdom. The court ruled that the law broke Article 8, which is the right to a private life, that was 14 years ago. Think about that for a moment. This officer is out here today trying to use a power that has not legally existed since she was probably still in school. It is simply not the law anymore, and has not been for a very long time.
Do I?
Pictures outside the station.
Right, we're gonna find your sergeant and find out why you think I need permission. Yes, it is. He will educate you. He will educate because I'm allowed to. Because I'm lawfully allowed to.
How do I know that? I don't know who you are.
Exactly, you don't know the law. You should know that. You should know I'm lawfully allowed to take it. You don't need to know who I am.
If you're lawfully allowed.
You do not need to know who I am.
Right.
What's up? The sergeant coming down, is he? So I'm not allowed to take pictures of police cars without permission. I'll film you if I want to. That's another lawful right I've got.
Right, Sam.
I'm filming you being a fool.
Sergeant comes down.
Sergeant comes down. The sergeant will tell you what you do not know. Go back to school and learn the law, love.
At this point, the photographer is getting frustrated. And honestly, he has every right to be. He is being accused of doing something wrong, when in reality no such offense even exists. It is actually the officer who is crossing the line. She is the one breaking the rules by not following Pace Code, which sets out the proper guidelines for stopping and questioning someone in public, but despite all of this, in her mind, he is the one being difficult. She has it completely backwards. The person who is actually in the wrong is pointing the finger at the person who is doing nothing wrong. It is a total upside-down view of the situation.
Why do you need to go back to school? They don't teach you law in school.
Law school, have you ever heard of that, smarty pants?
Teach you law in university.
We'll go back to university. Obviously you didn't go. You should be flipping burgers in McDonald's.
What film?
No, I won't. What's your problem? Why are you giving me a hard time about filming the police station and taking pictures? Seriously? Are you like on your period or what? Eh? People like to see pictures of police cars and police stations. It's a documentary. What law am I breaking, sir? Can I get your collar number and your name? What's your name, sir?
That's fine, can I?
It's your policy to give me your name.
Oh, yeah, I don't really want to do it now.
So go on, what's your collar number and your name, please?
408.
And your
You
name?
only need me collar number.
I don't. It's your policy, collar number, station you're based at, and your name. What's your name, please?
Yeah, 408.
And your name?
Need to give that.
What station are you based at?
Don't need to give that either.
Yes, you do. You'll be retrained and you'll find that out. Are you recording at the moment?
I am.
Yeah, good.
Watch what happens here. The photographer asks the male officer for his details. The officer quickly blurts out only his shoulder number and nothing else. No name, no station, just a single number. This is called malicious compliance. He knows he is legally required to identify himself, so he gives the bare minimum just to technically follow the rule. But then he refuses to say anything more. This is strange and unhelpful behavior from someone who is supposed to serve the public. By not giving his name or station, he is deliberately making it harder for anyone to file a complaint against him. He is basically saying, I will give you my number because I have to, but I am not going to make anything easy for you. The same officer was perfectly happy to stand beside his colleague while she was making up fake laws about photography permits. But the moment someone asks him to be accountable, he hides behind silence. That is a cowardly way to do his job. This is not about following the law or being transparent. It is about ego. He is behaving like a stubborn child in a high-visibility vest, playing games with a member of the public simply because that person knows their rights.
It's your policy to give your name, your number and your station.
What policy is that?
Your code of practice, pal. Look it up sometime. I'll ask you nicely, can I please just go about my business?
Yes, there's no offence. He's allowed to film, believe me.
I know, that's all I want to do. I don't want to fall out with anyone over it. I just want to take some pictures.
I'm not
I'll be on my way.
Okay.
Alright, I'm just saying, he needs to understand.
Look at this moment. The male officer is pulled aside by one of his own colleagues for a private word. And you can clearly see the moment it clicks for him. His own teammate is standing there explaining to him the basics of his own job. He is being told, in plain and simple terms, that the man filming is completely within his rights. There is no offense being committed. No special permission is needed, just think about that. He is so wrong that his own partner has to take him aside and explain the law to him like he is a brand new trainee. This was not some complicated legal argument. It was just a basic reality check while he was busy acting tough, refusing to give his station name and supporting a made-up ID demand. His colleague was watching the whole mess from the side. And the moment that private conversation ends, the whole power trip falls apart completely. But notice what does not happen. There is no apology. No, sorry for wasting your time. He did not stop because he suddenly realized he was wrong and felt bad about it. He stopped only because his own team refused to back him up. That says everything about his attitude.
Do you feel a bit silly now? Do you feel a bit daft? Check out YouTube tonight, or even tomorrow. Hey, you will do. You want to see this? Read the comments, Chuck. Read the comments. I know it is embarrassing. You'll never be so embarrassed in your life.
As the photographer walks away, he tells her, "You will never be so embarrassed in your life." And honestly, she deserves to feel embarrassed. This is not just a bad day at work. It is a complete failure of professional standards. She made up a law that does not exist. She demanded to see ID that she had no legal right to ask for. And then when the tables turned and she was asked to identify herself, she tried to hide. That is not just a mistake. That is a disgrace. The sergeant did not simply let the photographer go as a favor. By doing so, he made it clear that everything the female officer did for the past 10 minutes was a complete waste of time and a breach of police policy. The message is simple. If you do not know the law, you should not be wearing the uniform.
I know the law to a T, so tread carefully, pal. To a T. Better than most police people. If I'm not being detained, I'm going to go. Am I being detained? Am I being detained? Right, see you later, PC Muppet. Thank you, sir, you've been reasonable. Can you teach him how it's done? Idiot. See you later, PC moron. Keep an eye out for yourself.
Let us clear this up once and for all. First, if you can see something from a public place, you are allowed to film it. That includes police stations, police vehicles, and the officers themselves. Second, you do not need to explain why you are filming. You do not need a reason to exercise a basic right. Your reason is your own business. Third, when it comes to ID, you only have to show it if you are under arrest, if you are driving, or if you are behaving in a genuinely antisocial way. Simply taking a photo does not fall into any of those categories. Fourth, if an officer asks for your name, they must also be willing to give you theirs. Refusing to provide a shoulder number is a breach of police policy. Full stop. And finally, if an officer tells you that you need special permission to film on a public street, they are not just wrong. They simply do not know what they are talking about. Do not let a badge frighten you into giving up your rights. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.